Were your parents ever really strict when you were in school, when you were younger, about your grades or maybe excelling in a particular sport or in music? Um, Most of you can probably say no, not to that extreme. Um, and some parents still are strict, but not to the level that these parents can be. The article that I chose was written by Amy Chow, and the title of the article is Why Chinese Mothers Are Superior. My name is Alyssa Dazio, and I chose this article because there's definitely a noticeable difference in parenting styles, and I believe that because of the difference in cultures. The purpose of this article is to inform and teach the differences that there are parenting-wise compared to other cultures and why they feel it's so successful. In the article, it says that Chinese mothers said that they believe their children can be the best students and that academic achievement reflects successful parenting, and that if children did not excel at school, then there was a problem and parents were not doing their job. I believe that most parents do feel this way, regardless of what culture you're in, because, you know, that is your child and you do want them to excel in life. If you as a parent are not guiding your child in the right direction and encouraging them to want to be successful, why would they feel the need to be? In the article, it gives an example between a Western child coming home with an A- and a Chinese child coming home with an A-, explaining that a Western child would still get praised for the A-, and the Chinese child would most likely get scolded, and the parent would try to figure out where they're lacking in that subject and try to help them bring up that grade. And when I was growing up, if I was not on the honor roll, my mom was on it, calling the teachers, emailing the teachers, trying to find out what I was lacking as far as, you know, whatever subject it was at that time, and trying to figure out what she needed to work on me with. The article also says what Chinese parents understand is that nothing is fun until you're good at it. To get good at anything, you have to work, and children on their own never want to work, which is why it is crucial to override their preferences. I can agree with this on some levels, but others not so much, as far as the usual math, science, English, or even learning a new language. Some kids do need that extra push to practice and study more just because of the lack of interest or the lack of understanding most of the time. Once a child does get the hang of whatever they're struggling with, it doesn't feel like a chore and feels less intimidating. And yes, it can become fun. From my personal experience with music is the part where I disagree about children never wanting to work on something on their own. When I was in 3rd grade, I decided on my own that I wanted to play violin. I had no pressure from my mom. It was just something that I decided that I wanted to try and thought I would enjoy. I practiced almost every day for at least an hour because I wanted to be better, and honestly, most people in music want that first chair position, and I did very much. I stuck with that, and then I also picked up another instrument for band, and I did the same thing. Through middle school and high school, I became first chair violin and second chair French horn, and I was picked to be in honors band and selected to be in a select group for orchestra. And it was because that I practiced so much and I put the time and effort into it that I finally earned that. So my point is that it's not always crucial to override a child's preferences. Another thing mentioned in the article is that Chinese parents can get away with things that Western parents can't. In Chinese culture, it's acceptable to treat their children the way they do and to be so hard and strict with them. They assume strength, not fragility, and as a result, they behave very differently. Western parents are more concerned about their child's self-esteem and how they feel. They won't call a child a disgrace or a failure like a Chinese mother would, because they don't want the child to feel inadequate or insecure. And also, if a Western parent was to do this, it's highly frowned upon. Another thing that was mentioned in the article was Chinese parents believe that their kids owe them everything, and they feel this most likely because of everything that has been sacrificed and done for their children, such as the long hours put into tutoring or correcting them. They believe their children should spend their lives repaying them by being obedient and making them proud. I agree with this somewhat, but not to the extent that they do. I feel your child should strive to make you proud and should be obedient, but I don't feel your child should owe you that. I feel that they should want to do those things. I think that you should supply them with the tools they need to succeed in life and help them as much as you can along the way. But ultimately, it's up to them to excel in life and to make you proud. The language in the article is heavily connotative because it's all about her lifestyle and how she sees the differences in parenting and her personal experiences with her daughters, and also about her culture. Amy Chua is writing from a Chinese traditional worldview. It is similar to mine because all parents want what's best for their children and see them succeed no matter what culture you're raised in. It is different from mine because not all parents are strict or harsh on their children the way their culture is, because it is not considered acceptable. In conclusion, I do think that Chinese mothers are stricter and more firm with their children and expect more from them, and that alone makes you a great parent. But I think every culture has a different idea of what a superior parent should be, and I believe it all depends on how you were raised.